Hey, we're at Giga-Bites Cafe in Atlanta, Georgia, here for another Dropzone Commander Battle Report. Today, we're playing a military complex mission, rolled it up randomly from the tournament packet. It's very similar to Targets of Opportunity. You have 5 objectives. If you find the objective inside the building with infantry, it's 1 point. If you manage to get it all the way off the board, it's 2 points. Really the only difference is that in military complex, all the buildings are hardened, so they have armor 8 instead of armor 6. They're a little tougher to bring down. In case there's a tie, it goes to kill points, and that's about it. We'll be back in a second with our armies. This is my PHR army at 1,500 points. I've got an Odin and a Zeus in a Neptune with a level 2 commander, 2 Phobos in a Neptune, with 2 Helios in a Neptune armor battle group, infantry battle group with 2 squads of 2 immortal bases in Tritons with miniguns, another exact copy of that, 2 squads of 2 immortals in Tritons with miniguns, Hades and a Poseidon with a scout group, support group, 2 Helios and a Neptune inside the same battle group, and then a scout battle group with just 4 Mercury drones and nothing else.
Alright, so I've got an infantry battle group with 2 infantry units and an anti-aircraft unit, all being carried in some medium dropships. Then a commander with some Wolverine scouts, and then an armor battle group with 6 heavy tanks and 3 AA tanks. Then an air group with just the Seraphim. Then another infantry battle group, this time in a light drop ship with a pair of longbows attached. And then finally a Praetorian sniper team in a light drop ship.
And your commander level?
Captain, CV4.
Cool. Start of turn 1, I won the roll-off, and I've elected to go second. So Brian will do the first activation.
Alright, deployed my first infantry battle group, brought the Condor up, deployed the Bears, and then deployed this unit of infantry into the building. And then their associated AA just moved them up and deployed the AA units.
I activated my scout group, and I moved my Mercury drones on.
Alright, so I brought in my command battle group, and that's the Kodiak and the Wolverines, and they just drove on.
I activated my infantry battle group. I had 1 Triton come on here, and the infantry got out 3 inches for their deployment and then got into the building here. And then the other Triton moved its full movement and is hiding behind the building there with the infantry still inside.
I activated my second infantry battle group. I had the light dropship move its full distance. The infantry is still in it. And then the longbows deployed over here, and their dropships landed.
Alright, I activated my armor group. I had these Helios come out, disembark, 6 inches, they're right there. And I had my Phobos get out over here so they can have a good 24-inch range over this open space on this part of the board.
Alright, I activated my special battle group with their snipers, and I moved their Raven all the way up to here, and they're still in the Raven.
I activated my second infantry battle group, moved them both up to this side of the building, and that's going to get really interesting next turn.
Alright, so I activated my armor group, which is in the heavy drop ship. It's very slow, so I just brought it into here, and all armor is still on it.
I activated my command group, and they just deployed right here. Alright, I activated my heavy battle group. I put the Hades down right here, and I took the Helios and parked them behind this building, and they are still in their transport. It's the start of turn 2. Brian won the initiative roll-off, and he's Seraphim did not come in, and he played a fighter escort on that Raven over there, even though it does nothing, because why not?
Alright, so I did something very risky and it didn't work. I activated my infantry battle group, had the longbows over here, deploy smart smoke on these Helios, then had the Raven that was hiding over here come over here, and he did reaction fired and got 1 hit, I believe.
2 hits.
2 hits, and then rolled 1 damage roll and was able to destroy the Raven in the air with all the passengers, so that's 1 infantry group gone.
Yeah, that really caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting offensive smoke. I've actually never run into that before, so it's very creative. But, all right. Alright, activated my heavy group, had the Hades move up here, shoot his bear that had 3 infantry bases in it, managed to blow it up and kill 2 of the infantry bases, the 3rd one disembarked. Then I also activated my Helios here and moved it forward, disembarked these Helios right beside that building.
The Praetorian sniper team that was here, they took their Raven over to here and then have deployed it to this building.
Activated my command group. I had them move 2 inches forward here. They shot at his rapier, which was back there with their 3 rail cannons, managed to kill it. And then this Neptune fired a shot at the building and did nothing.
Okay, so I activated my infantry battle group. These 4 guys just shuffled on forward. These guys searched for the building, did not find the objective. The Rapier squad moved forward and took some shots at the Helios and were able to actually kill it.
Needed 6s, actually got 2 damage points, 2 6s on 6 shots, so yeah. Good shooting.
And then the Condor is doing his Condor heroics and is now landed in front of him to block line of sight.
I activated my infantry battle group. They were both in Tritons behind this building. This Triton moved over here, but couldn't quite disembark his units this turn. This Triton just disembarked straight into the building, so I've got guys in there now.
Alright, so this time I activated my command group. Had the Wolverines run out here to draw a line of sight, and then had the orbital strike come down in and take out one of his Phobos in the backfield.
Yep, rolled a 4, killed it instantly. Alright, activated my scout group, and they move forward 6 inches. There they are.
Alright, so I activated my armor group, moved it forward, and then deployed all my tanks.
Activated my armor group, had my last Phobos move up and try to shoot that Condor over there, and I was just about a 1/4 inch out of range, unfortunately. The dropship moved up, shot this building, did nothing because it has high armor. And then these guys who already reaction fired earlier in the turn just moved around the corner because they're worried about his tank block coming around the corner and killing them next turn. So they did their best to get out of line of sight. Their transport shot this building, again did nothing. And that's it. I activated my 2nd infantry group. These guys were already in the building, but they have the Mercury drones within 6 inches, which gives them +1 to their search roll. So I needed a 5. I rolled a 5, found the objective. These guys embarked into the building here, so we will have a CQB next turn. Start of turn 3, Brian wins the roll-off. Nobody plays any cards, and unfortunately his Seraphim, he rolled a 1. He needed a 2 up to get it. He didn't roll it, so Seraphim's still off the board this turn. And we have a CQB initiating in this building.
Okay, so I activated my infantry battle group, found an objective, bugged out into the bear, and the bear into the Condor, and the Condor off the board. Moved these guys into the building, so they just now are getting in there. Had the Rapiers whip around here, and then stack up behind each other, use the articulated rule, and then had this landed Condor take off, so that they can now shoot at the Helios, and did 1 damage to it.
They're going really well with those rapiers. Alright, activated my heavy group. My Hades had to repair nanomachine my Helios over here, but since I didn't have line of sight, I had a +2 penalty, so I had to roll a 3 up to do it, but he succeeded, repaired that damage point. And then he strafe-shotted the back of that brick of tanks over there. Everyone was hull down, but I managed to get 2 hits and 2 kills on them. And then just to continue that, this Helios here moved over and blew up his dropship, which was sitting right there. And my Poseidon and my Neptune just fired a couple ineffective shots at the buildings.
Alright, so I moved my command battle group, had the Wolverines redeploy over here behind this building, and then I had the Kodiak move up over here.
Activated my scout group, and they moved forward 6 inches.
Alright, so I activated my armor group, had these guys swing around the building, and had a couple of the AA shoot at the Helios, caused 1 damage. Then I had a couple of the anti-tank shoot at this Helios, was completely ineffective.
I had a skimmer bonus, plus a couple of the shots were hull down, plus I still had his smart smoke, so some of the shots were at +5. But he did get one hit, but just failed to damage me.
So, and then I took a shot at this building and did no damage.
All right, I activated my infantry battle group. The group that was in here, again, they got a +1 from the drones. They needed a 5 because it's a large building, normally a 6. They get the +1. They rolled a 5, so they found that objective, and they just immediately got out into their dropship here and started moving back. And these guys embarked into this building.
All right, I activated my other infantry battle group, which is basically just the longbows. The Ravens stood up, took off, fired at this building, did 1 point of damage, and then these longbows fired at the Helios and managed to miss it.
I activated my command group. I just quickly picked them up and dropped them off to get them in a better position.
All right, so I activated the Praetorians. That was my last battle group. I played Op 4 training, and so basically got 3 additional dice. Thank you. You're welcome. And so it was pretty much a bloodbath because even with my 4-up dodge, I managed to lose 8 of my 9 guys, and I killed only 2 of his. Yeah, 2 of the Immortals.
You made your fortitude check.
Yeah, barely.
All right, I'll film my own turn here. I had 2 more battle groups to go. The Helios that were here fired before moving, they fired at the Condor there. Only 1 was in range, but it was enough to kill it. Totally blew it up. It fell on the Helios, but didn't damage it. And then they moved over there. And this Phobos moved up 2 inches. And then I activated my infantry group. They're stuck in combat. This infantry group found an objective last turn. I just forgot to move them, so this turn I decided to move them out of the building. So they're on their way off. All right, start of turn 4. Brian won the initiative roll-off. His Seraphim finally came in, and his infantry group actually also came right back in. He rolled a 6 for them. And we have a CQB initiating here. And this one is still ongoing.
All right, so I activated my armor group, brought them forward, and then the Rapiers took a shot at the Celio and took it out.
All right, I activated my command group over here. They shot at those 2 Rapiers in front that are left in that squad and did no damage at all.
All right, so I had my Ravens move out so they could draw a line of sight on the Helios, and then I had both of the longbows fire, and they needed 6s to hit, managed to get 1 hit, and then did manage to do 1 point of damage.
I activated my heavy group. So first over here, the Helios transport moved back here behind the building so you wouldn't shoot it with his AA. Then the Hades went and fired strafing fire at the front 2 guys with the tail cannon, killed 1 of them, and then fired the black nanomachines back here on these guys, managed to get a hit on a 4-up, and killed 2 of them, so I killed 3 Rapiers.
Alright, so I activated my command group at the Wolverines pull up here to draw line of sight, and then I had my Kodiak call it in and put 1 point of damage on the Phobos.
So I activated my armor group. The Helios moved up to the side of the building. Hopefully they'll stay out of line of sight of the Sabres. They were just out of range of these 2 Ravens, unfortunately. And then the Phobos just moved up a couple inches and didn't do anything. Saved its shots.
Alright, so I brought the Seraphim. It was available. It did a wild whistle run. Ran right smack into all of this AA. Managed to survive all... God, how many? 12 shots?
12 shots, yep. Armor 7 is brutal.
Yeah, and then killed the 1 damaged Helios, and now it's going to fly off the board in victory.
I activated my scout group, and I moved my Mercury drones. They're there.
Alright, so my last activation was the infantry battle group. This Condor just came in all the way. They did not deploy anything. This Rapier moved forward, shot at 1 of the Mercury drones, did nothing.
Amazingly did nothing.
Yeah. And then this CQB went pretty much as expected. They got wiped out.
I activated my infantry battle group. They can't search because they spent the entire term in CQB as the aggressor. And this squad that was here flew off the board with the objective. All right, so we just realized we did this CQB wrong. Brian misread how many dice he gets. He thought he got 6 base dice. He actually should have gotten 18 because it's 2 per guy, not 2 per base. So with the Op4 training, he should have had 21 dice. We just re-rolled it. So now, unfortunately, we're using different indicators. He's counting up and I'm counting down. But there is 1 Praetorian there, and there are 2 Immortals. The Immortals passed their Fortitude check, and now we're about to roll out this turn's of the CQB. All right, update on the CQB. We both did no damage, and we both passed our Fortitude checks, so status quo. All right, I activated my last infantry battle group. They used their whole turn as the aggressor in the CQB, and they moved off the table with the objective. Start of turn 5, Brian won the roll-off again. I rolled for my 2 infantry squads who went off the board, and this one is back. I rolled a 6, so they're coming back this turn. And nobody played any cards. And this CQB is still going.
All right, so I activated my armor group and had a completely ineffective round of shooting. My rapier fired at one of the Mercury Scout drones, did nothing. Then all 4 of the sabers fired at the Helios and missed it.
Yeah, all the shots were hull down against skimmers, so we needed 6s. It was pretty tough. So I did my AA group. I had my Helios come out, and I could have shot these Ravens, and I also could have shot the Condor. I ended up going for the Condor and getting a little lucky, blowing it up with just 1 Helios. And the bear didn't die. It crashed and rolled under a 4, so it's still alive. But would have been nice to kill it, but oh well.
All right, so I activated my infantry battle group. The remaining legionnaires hopped out of the bear, jumped in here, and reinforced the lone sniper. And then this rapier moved up and finally killed a Mercury drone.
Activated my command group. They shot all 3. They moved up 2 inches and shot all 3 of their shots at the rapier that used to be there and killed it.
All right, so I activated my command group. The Wolverines came around the corner, shot at this building, did nothing. And then the Kodiak called it in and took out the Phobos that was back here. And during that round of shooting, when I was using the orbital strike, I missed and did assisted targeting and got a reroll. Cameron then tried to espionage it, and then I espionaged his espionage, canceling that and allowing me to reroll and allowing me to kill that Phobos.
Okay, so I activated my Hades. It moved up. I fired the black nanomachines and one of the miniguns at the front Wolverine, which was the only one in range, killed it. And then I fired the tail cannon at the sabers over here and managed to kill 1.
All right, so the only thing that's left of this other infantry battle group is the Ravens and the longbows. All of them fired to this Helios. They all needed 6s to hit, and I missed with everything.
I activated my infantry battle group, and I needed a 6 to find the objective. I did not get it.
All right, so the last thing I activated was my sniper group, which was that single sniper. He did find the objective. We fought out the CQB. He died, but the objective passes to the other friendly squad, and we're still here.
Fight it out on turn 6. All right, activated my infantry group. They spent the turn fighting as the aggressor, and then my second squad just flew on and got there. They'll get in the building next turn, but it's kind of a moot point.
All right, I brought the Seraphim in. It fired its bunker buster at the building and completely missed the building.
Rolled a 1. Started turn 6. Brian won the roll-off again, and that CQB is ongoing. My other infantry squad is going to come out of reserve. Probably won't matter. And no cards played, I don't think.
All right, so I brought in the Seraphim. This time was able to get its bunker buster off, did some actual damage to the building, and managed to kill a couple of his guys with some falling masonry.
Yep, 6 damage to the building and 2 guys dead.
Yep.
Activated my Hades, shot all his weapons at these sabers, and actually managed to only kill 1, but that's all right.
All right, so I activated my command battle group. The Wolverines took a shot and put a couple more points of damage on the building. And then they spotted for the Kodiak over here, and it put some more damage on the building, and it killed a couple of his dudes.
I'm down to 4 guys left. All right, we're at the end of the game. We have a couple more activations we could do, but we realized it's not really going to affect the outcome of anything. So 1 building at a time. This building, I was able to get the objective off, so that's 2 points. Likewise here, I was able to get that, that's 2 points. Brian got the objective off this building, so 2 for him, that's 4 to 2. And then he was actually able to sort of overwhelm me in this building with those reinforcements and find the objective, and he ended the game with it, so that's 1 more. So 4 to 3. I tried to find this objective, failed just on my last activation here. So that one's just unclaimed. So final score is 4-3 PHR. Ended up being a pretty close game. I thought I had a really good chance at the beginning to walk away with it after I blew up all those troop transports, but Brian fought back definitely and made it really close. So it was only a 1-point victory. I tried out this list. What I did is I took Reese's advice and downgraded my commander to a level 2 and used those points to get another squad of infantry, although that did require downgrading some of my sirens that I normally run. At least in this mission, it went really well. Having that extra squad was great, and I've actually had a lot of trouble getting the sirens to be effective, especially with 2 squads. Just in a lot of missions, it's really tough to get 2 different squads of sirens into CQB. Just a lot of times they get shot down or they can't get close enough or what have you. So I think running 4 Immortals is not bad at all. So yeah, I'll definitely give this list a couple more tries. I might end up taking this one to LVO. We'll have to see. I'm definitely more experienced with the PHR, so I'll probably end up taking them. How about your list? What were you going for?
I was just trying out a couple of things. I wanted to try out the Praetorian snipers, and this was not a good scenario for them. I would have been much better off with regular Praetorians. The initial thought was I was going to put them up someplace in a building that was not going to be an objective, and then have them man the walls and snipe at the light dropships. Unfortunately, there was no place they could get into in turn 1 that would have been able to do that. So I decided to double down for the center objective, and if Cameron had only put 1 unit of Immortals in there, I would have stayed there. When he put 2 units, I knew I was not going to win that CQB, so I did something very risky and moved those light dropships over to here, which seriously hurt me, but that's why I did things like try to take out as much of his AA or suppress it with the smart smoke. Ultimately, it didn't wind up working. I'm going to try the snipers again, see if I can't get them to be useful in some other way. And I eventually need to start seeing if I can't work in regular Praetorians instead of snipers. But overall, actually a pretty close game. I thought Cameron was going to run away with it right at the beginning, and it wound up being a little bit closer than we thought. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter because obviously Cameron just outplayed me and took down a lot of my infantry right at the beginning, which really hurt.
Well, one thing that I've noticed that's really big, if you take a really low-level commander, that virtually guarantees that your opponent is going to be the occupier in all the buildings. So if you want to win one of these objective missions, you're going to have to kill all their guys and then start searching for the objective. And that could be kind of tough, especially with these large buildings. If you're only doing it with 1 squad and you're not getting to search till turn 4, turn 5, you might not find that objective. So that low-level commander could actually end up really costing you in this sort of game.
Yeah, and Cameron's Mercury Scout drones are super effective for the points because, let's face it, they don't contribute to combat, but they help tremendously in the building searches. And both times that Cameron's searching in these 2 buildings, that made the difference of him finding them on the first turn that he searched.
Yeah, I would have needed a 6 both times, and with the Mercury drones I could get it on 5, and both times I rolled a 5. So that was 2 objectives, the difference between getting them off a turn earlier. And they're nice synergy with the Hades because they can spot for his black nanomachines indirectly, which can be nice. I only did that once in this game, but in other games I've found that to be really effective.
Yeah.
Mission, not too much to say about it, except that, especially when we're playing with these large buildings and they're hardened, there was really no point in trying to destroy them. There were a couple times we were able to kill some infantry with falling masonry, but this was not a very good mission for demolition.
Right.
I thought your Seraphim was awesome. You got really unlucky not having him come in until turn 4.
Yeah, really unlucky in that regard, but the fact that it can take so much damage at such a high armor, and the fact that I was lucky definitely helped. And its demo capabilities are nice.
Yeah, I'll be thinking about adding one of those to my UCM list too, because they're awesome.
Cool.
And it's really cool looking, yeah. All right, well, can't think of anything else. And do you have anything else to?
No.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.